Good morning. This is Pastor Robbie George this morning, coming to you from around Hillsborough, North Carolina. That is between Mebane and Durham, if you will, this morning in Orange County. So just a couple counties east of where we live. It is Monday. It is December the 23rd. And on our last run for 2024, and got a two-stop run this morning going down here to Wilson, North Carolina, and Sanford, North Carolina. So that is where we're headed currently. A very cool morning this morning. When I got up at 1 o'clock this morning and I checked the temperature out the window there, it said it was 23 degrees at that time, and they were forecasting a low of 19. That was at 1:15 this morning. So it was already 23 degrees at 1:15. So I could see how by the time I got to the truck and left at about 4:30 this morning, 4:35, I pulled out of the parking lot. I could see how it probably done dropped down to about 19. So we're heading east on I-40 this morning. It's about 5:41 in the morning on Monday, December the 23rd, 2024. Just a couple days before Christmas. Got to preach the gospel yesterday out of Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 through 25, where it said it was on this wise, or it was according to what Scripture said, how that while Mary was espoused to be married to Joseph, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost. And then Joseph was minded to put her away privately. He didn't want to expose her. He didn't want to embarrass her. He didn't want to turn her over to the authorities that could have had her killed for such an act as they presumed that she had been engaged in. But these things were spiritual in nature, and obviously on down a few verses, she brought forth her firstborn son, and the virgin brought forth her firstborn son. These things were prophesied 400 years before in Isaiah 7 verse 14. And it said, she brought forth her firstborn son and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn, wrapped him in swaddling clothes. And then Joseph names him Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins. So that is where the Scripture took us yesterday. Then we looked at Luke chapter 2, one of my favorite passages on the Christmas story. Sitting around the Christmas trees, our family would read this Luke chapter 2 passage when our children were coming up each and every year. And so it is my favorite, Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through about verse 20, I think it is. And so we enjoyed the presence of the Lord in His house yesterday. We enjoyed communion. That was our first communion as a church since we've been a church. As we come to 4 months, on January the 1st will be our 4-month anniversary at Archdale Baptist Church. And it's been an exciting 4 months as we've gotten started in the direction the Lord is having us to go in 2024, and it's just hard to believe we're going into 2025 now in just about 8 days' time. Something like that. We'll be going into a new year and full of adventure and excitement, and so we're just excited to see the year end. It's been a challenging year for many, and we would include ourselves there. We've had our share of challenges this year, but God has been faithful. as He continues to be. We've even met with some challenges this morning, some obstacles we've come across in trying to get left this morning, and but God's seen us through, and we weren't delayed but about 15 or 20 minutes. But it's been a day filled with a few obstacles to jump over, through hoops to jump through. But we made it to exit 270 this morning as I come into Durham County here. So we're getting a little closer to Durham. Traffic has been, for the most part, light 2 days before Christmas, but I expect that traffic will increase. There's been a lot less truck traffic this morning. I can tell that many trucks have closed up shop for the year, and they'll try to get back after it after the new year. So they're home with their families, and thank God for that. And our truck drivers are getting a break from the road. But there's a bunch of them still out here this morning that don't have that luxury to close up on Friday last week. My honey, she already got off on Thursday, I think was her last day. And so she is off for Christmas, and we thank God for a break for her. And we're just anticipating getting to about 2 or 2:30 this afternoon and embarking on our own to after the new year, and thank God for that. And so it's been, time has been moving along this year fast until we got near vacation and near break, and slowed down as it's approached our Christmas break. But God knows all things, and everything operates according to His time, not our time. We thank God for His faithfulness this year in 2024, what it has brought. It's brought, like I said, its fair share of challenges in our family, but God has seen us through every one. And we've seen some things occur that we weren't expecting. And so, the Lord has showed Himself faithful through it all, and as He always is, He's provided for our families another year, and He's met every need that we've had. He's blessed our transportation to get us where we've had to go. He's blessed us getting our bills paid, and He's just, He's been good. That's the only way I can say it. He's blessed the church plant. Like I said, coming up on our 4-month anniversary here in about 8 days, and God has been faithful there as well. I think we've never come in less than 5 people every week, and God has met the needs financially and has met the ministry needs as far as the monies that go out. And so God has been faithful as we close out this year. We're looking for great things to happen in the new year. And so we were expecting a few things maybe to occur by now that haven't. And we know there's some other things that we've been praying about, and they're more long-term in nature. And so we understand that some of these things, like applying for the 501c3 status, those are some things, getting a website. These are some things that are going to be long-term goals we're working on as fast as we can, and we're right at the point of applying fully for our 501c3 status as we close out the year. I would love for that process to be complete going into 2025 and just wait on the government and their timing, how long it takes to get approved, but we'll see. God's timing again, not ours. But as we close out, we appreciate everyone that's given to Archdale Baptist Church in any kind of way. Whether the gift was small or large, we appreciate you. And I want to say that from the bottom of our hearts. We can't do what we do without God moving on people to give into the ministry. And that's not nothing you'll hear from us. We don't even mention giving in each and every service. If you listen to our services, offering is not even mentioned. So that's just the way God has had us go, and the Lord is faithful. But this morning we are traveling east on I-40, and as we're coming to the North Carolina Central University exit here, 276, and East Durham. We're on East Durham exits now, Fayetteville Road. And I'm not real sure if we go down there and hit 70 to go over to Wilson, or we hit 64. I'm not sure. I've never been to this destination here in Wilson this morning that I'm aware of. Now, when I get there, it may be a different story, but right now, as I see things, I've never been to this location. I'm going to the first stop. Then I'm going back to Sanford, North Carolina. That's a little closer to home. And then I've been to that destination many a times. So we'll see. They're saying 13 miles down here. We're going to split and stay on I-40 for the present. So we'll see where we get down there and split off, whether we go 64 or whether we go 70. But Wilson, North Carolina is our destination. It's showing us getting there around 7 o'clock or so. Like I said, it would have been a little earlier than that, but I was delayed 20 minutes getting out of the yard through no fault of my own. But just things happened this morning. And so I can attribute what happened to the cold best I can understand it this morning, but I'm hoping to get our truck to the garage when I get back today, if they've got that part, so I can get my heat fixed. Presently I don't have no heat in the truck, and it's 19 degrees this morning, but the heat does work when you're in motion. It's when you're sitting still, there is no heat that comes into this truck. But I'm getting heat off the motor or something. I don't know how it's fully working, but right now it's blazing like an inferno in here. You have to roll down the windows. It gets so hot in here when you're in motion. But I do not have no operational heat. My heat has not worked in a little over, let's see, I think it's been about 10 or 11 days I've been without heat in the truck. I took it to the garage and they had to order the part. It had to come from Atlanta or California, and they didn't know for certain if they were going to get it fixed before the new year. It may be after the new year. I've got to call them today. The way I work, we've been down the driver since October, the 1st of October, so things have been a lot different, and I am not there in a position or a place to take it to the garage and get it fixed like I need to right now, but in God's timing we'll get it fixed, and we'll appreciate the Lord when He gets it fixed. The same thing happened in my van on Thursday. 1 week after it happened in the truck, my blower went out in my truck, in my van that I go back and forth to work, so don't have no heat in my van either. And so, you know, you get up in the morning and you got ice on your windows, you got problems. When you have no heat, you get the ice off the windows. So an ice scraper will do it, but with the moisture and everything that gets on your windows when it's raining and these kinds of things or whatever, you got to have something blowing to get that stuff off the window, the fog, the ice. But my blower went out on my van. I'm going to check it this during the break and see if it's a fuse. I hope it's a fuse. But if not, I had to drive the old Honda this morning because I had to have some heat this morning to get me to work. But this morning we are going east. Then we're going to be turning southwest and going towards Sanford, North Carolina. And then we'll be turning back northwest. We're going to be trying to do a triangle to get us back home today. The people's done getting aggressive already this morning. I've seen traffic increase already since I've been on the road. There was very light traffic when I got started around 4:30, and then 30 minutes later you seen an increase. 30 minutes later you seen an increase, and this is not your normal day-to-day increase. Just from my perspective, I travel down in the Raleigh area a lot, and so I know what a normal day looks like. The not on the road this morning, the best I can tell. And these people that are on the road with me this morning are traveling for Christmas. Best I can tell, about 80% of the traffic are. Most of the world is done on vacation for Christmas and New Year. They said the heaviest travel day as far as air goes was last Wednesday or last Thursday. So people are done at their destinations of travel as far as air travel goes. And it seems like they had minimal delays. Sometimes when you get to this season of the year, a lot of winter storms going on, a lot of weather delays to get people to their destinations, but I don't think they encountered that on Wednesday or Thursday. Exit 282. We're getting into some of the bypasses now that'll take you around Raleigh. I'm about 7 miles from where my next turn will take me. When we get with our families on Wednesday about lunch or 1 o'clock on Wednesday, we'll be celebrating with our families and then going to Janet's side of the family thereafter. And hopefully we got some Christmas pictures to take on Saturday. It got delayed, supposed to be this last Saturday. And we've got a few delays in that, a few challenges there, but these things happen. We don't get our family together that often to take pictures, so naturally today you think things are going to happen sometime. It'll be the first time we've done this in years. But we have all our family at home this year. We're glad Tiffany and Darren have moved back, Jaden moved back from Florida. And so they'll be home this Christmas, where last Christmas everybody was separated, it seemed. And everybody had to come in for all the holidays. And then when you come in for that short little period, you got all these places to hit and don't leave a lot of time to see your family and loved ones when they live hundreds of miles away. But this year we got everybody at home. It's Harlow's second Christmas, and she is noticing those Christmas trees and those lights and the bulbs on the trees and the lights, the Christmas lights in people's houses. And so these things are catching her attention as she approaches, let's see, she'll be 17 months old. Let's say just a few days ago, 17 months old, about a week ago. So she's about a year and a half old.